Look guys, normally I try and filter out the fan and AC noises, but the high today is 95, so deal with it. Heyo everyone, Misha be barking here. So this week's video was supposed to be about Twitter and Threads, and how Twitter is just going on an absolute downward spiral, and how Musk makes impulsive changes to the site, depending on how his ego gets hurt, and then every single time he makes a change the site breaks, so everyone's trying to migrate elsewhere. But something a little more concerning came up, involving the brand known as Nomad Complex. Now you've probably seen this brand everywhere, maybe you don't even realize it. I've definitely worn my fair share of Nomad Complex merch.
Fuck all this good morning shit.
I agree.
I want to know what color underwear you've got on.
Pause.
So why am I talking about this brand? What did they do? Are they in trouble? Are they getting canceled? Well, no, not in the sense you would expect. Also, this video is very much unscripted, so there's gonna be a lot of weird pauses and cuts, because I can't seem to get out a coherent thought to save my life. So without further ado, let's dive on in. Nomad Complex is a clothing and apparel brand based in Vancouver, Canada. It was first started in January of 2016, so that's 7 years ago. We pretend to be some big company, but in reality we're just two guys who want to make people look and feel their absolute best while we navigate this crazy thing called life. And that they do, puppy gang. Their clothes are extremely high quality. The print on the shirts lasts for years. I got my Fox shirt in 2019 and it is just now starting to fade. Their underwear is also really comfy. Obviously I'm not going to show pictures of that, but you'll have to take my word for it. So if I'm over here gassing Nomad Complex up so much, what's the big idea? Well, the problem arises in the email that everyone who agreed to get updates got. The email was titled The Future of Nomad Complex and reads as follows. We can't describe how grateful we are with the outpouring of love and support everyone has shown us in the past 8 years. Nomad Complex has been facing a significant number of challenges due to the exponential growth the fandom has been experiencing over the last 2 years, coupled with a rapidly shifting economy. It would be impossible to list them all, but some of the more significant challenges have included the major increase in order volume, the website backend being unmanageable due to lack of attention, the website frontend being inconsistent and outdated, increased vendor costs and rapidly shifting shipping costs, not having adequate staffing to accommodate those needs. This all came to a head when we were notified by our property management company that despite their promises otherwise, they would not be renewing our lease at the original negotiated cost at the end of November. We're currently in limbo. We spend hours trying to find the best way to convey 30 pages worth of information about the perfect storm of challenges that has brought our way because we want to be as transparent as possible with all of you. We don't want imaginations running wild about our decision, but we have to sum it up as the following. Nomad Complex has been experiencing external difficulties for quite some time with growth, scaling, securing staffing, website development, and several other factors. These factors were manageable, but in combination with the loss of our warehouse space and the multitude of challenges that adds to our workload, it has put us in a position where we do not reasonably see a path forward that is feasible at this time. Because of this, we have made the decision that our best path going forward at this moment is to sunset Nomad Complex for the time being and sell off the final runs of our existing inventory. This is the only opportunity we have to try and carve a new path forward for Nomad Complex. Our current plan is to keep orders disabled on the website while we get our affairs in order and reopen on August 1st. This also gives us a chance to provide you with a roadmap of the additional stock we will be acquiring in August that will also constitute as final stock so that everyone can make their plans accordingly. Please understand that this decision was not made lightly and we are navigating this as best as we can at this time. We totally get that this may feel like whiplash. We know you will have several questions regarding this choice and we will do our best to answer them. That's insane! Why won't you just get a new warehouse? Nomad Complex currently houses tens of thousands of units of stock, t-shirts, tank tops, underwear, and everything in between. We moved into this warehouse only occupying about 1/4 of the space it contained. Now, it is almost full. We have too large a catalog to store in our home or a storage locker in the interim. A not insignificant factor is the cost. The monthly rental cost of warehousing space since we first signed the lease in 2020 has risen 47% in the city of Vancouver. We don't have to preach to anyone about the rising costs of gestures at the world. You all know where things currently stand. If we were to move sideways to another warehouse with our current inventory, it does not solve the factor of our current growth and scaling issues. It means we have even less time to address them. Moving a warehouse of this scale is not an easy or inexpensive task. At this time, we do not have the labor or the resources to accommodate all of the needs of the business, which includes the labor and resources needed to find and accumulate new labor and new resources. Say that 10 times fast. Please don't make me say that 10 times fast. How does having more sales lead to this sort of outcome? We can tell what you've been hearing for years regarding the uptick in sales. It's a great problem to have. And you know what? It is. We take high sales numbers over low sales numbers any day of the week. That being said, imagine that you have 5 buckets in front of you. In each of the buckets, you have 5 different tasks: research and development, quality control and stock management, website development and marketing, customer service and communications, and finally order fulfillment. Now imagine that the only bucket that ever gets filled up is the order fulfillment bucket. Because all of your attention is focused on order fulfillment, all of the other tasks are being ignored, which can end up costing you ridiculous amounts of money. If your marketing isn't effective because you aren't paying attention to it, you're wasting money. If your stock isn't properly managed, you can oversell inventory. If you aren't responding to customer service inquiries in a timely manner, it can upset customers and lose you business. It's a very fine balancing act, and it is one that has skewed very poorly into one direction. What about all the items you have coming out soon? Racerbacks plus boy shorts? Polaroid? No Pants Complex? Don't you have restocks coming? The decision has been a very difficult one. Manufacturing takes a lot of time, and most of these items were already being manufactured before we had to consider what we are considering now. Because of this, we will be receiving several restocks and new products, which will be immediately sold as final stock items. This includes sold-out underwear restocks, Racerbacks plus boy shorts, new gaming mats, and the Polaroid lineup. Most of these items will be restocking around the beginning to middle of August. We will release a full schedule of their expected stock and restock dates as soon as we have those dates finalized. No Pants Complex, which was like a AD project they had, I think, something like that. Nomad Complex will be going on an indefinite hiatus. We cannot apologize enough. This is a line we were extremely excited about, and it breaks our hearts to not be able to provide them like we wanted to. In the future, if we are able to make a return, these will be our highest priority. Are you disappearing forever? What's the current plan? The only answer that we have for you right now is we don't know. A decision like this is not made lightly. It has taken longer than we care to admit to type all of this up because our first thought was spending 30 pages explaining every single detail we could. This decision was made because right now we do not have a path forward that includes all of the following: an action plan that continues the day-to-day operations of the business, customer service, order fulfillment, while allowing us to address the areas we critically need to improve. An action plan that includes appropriate staffing to alleviate several years of stress placed on the owner from scheduling consisting of frequent 70 to 80-hour work weeks. An affordable warehousing and housing situation for the business and the owner that gives us the ability to continue operations in a satisfactory and timely manner. Our most optimistic hope is that the sale event goes well. Barring this, and the securing of a new warehouse location, our goal is to be able to provide a roadmap of the future of Nomad Complex that includes adequate staffing, a new website, new products, and much, much more. Our most optimistic hope is that we can create a roadmap for this within the year. Is this our last chance to get certain designs or types of clothing? Which ones? Regardless of a return or not, this will mean the end for most of the designs currently sitting in our catalog. Due to the nature of this event, we cannot say for certain which designs will return, if ever. We completely understand that this is a frustrating answer, as any purchases you make are likely to be based on future availability. This is why we have to underpromise and state that there is a non-zero chance that your favorite design may not return in the future. I have an outstanding inquiry with customer service, return, exchange, etc. Do I need to be worried or submit another contract? No. All current and outstanding customer service tickets are continuing as normal and do not require any further verification. If you have any inquiries you'd like to make, please contact us at support@nomadcomplex.com. So that's the end of the email. What does that all mean? It looks like as it stands currently, Nomad Complex is stuck between a rock and a hard place. There doesn't seem to be a feasible way to go forward currently, so they're pausing everything until they can figure something out. If they can at all. I want to be optimistic and say, hey, Nomad Complex will be back. And don't get me wrong, I hope they do. Nomad Complex has been one of the biggest clothing providers for the furry community, and to see them have to close their doors because of rising rent costs would be an absolute crime. I hope they're able to come back, but pausing an operation that big and then trying to restart it in the future, that's gonna be a really tough task. I know I keep saying it, but it bears repeating. Nomad Complex has been a huge part of the furry community, and I really hope this isn't the end for them. It's weirdly the one thing that all of us on Twitter have been coming together in mourning. Everyone across the entire furry community has been coming together and showing their support and solidarity for Nomad Complex. I really hope they're able to come back. I really do. And if by some chance Nomad Complex is seeing this, I just want to say thank you. Your merch has given countless furries the chance to be out and proud about themselves, be it the Pride collection or just furry stuff in general. It's kind of turned into a tell in public when you see somebody wearing a Nomad Complex shirt. It's almost on the same level of Hyena Agenda, where you just instantly recognize that, hey, what you got there? So I really hope that doesn't go away, and I really hope we can keep having those experiences with brand new merch. I guess we'll just have to see what 2024 holds. That being said, let's show some love for Nomad Complex. Comment down below your favorite merch that you've gotten, or even that you've seen on their website. Or in person. I really like the fox shirt that I have. It was one of the first furry merch shirts that I ever bought, and I still have it to this day. Well, that's all I have for this week. Sorry it's a bit of a downer episode, but I feel like with something as big as Nomad Complex, knowing about all of this is super important. I gotta be honest, I don't feel like doing my usual outro of like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. So like, yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.